today we hope that we inspire you to start your own business one day with vertical farming. Actually, Marco, our speaker, I'm sure that he will inspire you. Marco has dedicated his career to exploring innovative ways to grow more plants in urban areas, and his passion for eco-friendly agricultural practices has earned him recognition as a thought leader in the industry. And he will be talking about ways to grow more plants in urban areas today. Yes, so I give the word to Marco.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. Let me share my screen so you can see some cool urban farming images. Let's get to the practical stuff. This is my first solution. So as I said, it's a counter movement to the super technical setups. And what I disliked when I saw the first vertical plant factories was that they just stacked two-dimensional horticulture equipment like these gutter systems or flood tables. They just stacked it into rack systems. And it's fine if you do 2 or 3, but after a certain number, you cannot reach it anymore. You have to manage the small area. You need to light every level. It's super difficult. And then you have a wild mix of electricity, lights, plant debris, plants, water, nutrients. So I wanted to create an alternative, which is the vertical barrel that you can see here. It works like a gutter system or a nutrient film technique gutter in a 2D horticulture. It's a soilless system, so the nutrients are in the liquid. And from the normal two-dimensional version where you have the nutrient film horizontal, here I turn it into the vertical. And since water is a funny substance, you have to slow it down that it doesn't go into free fall. And of course, I also increase the diameter from the normal towers, because when you have a small diameter, you just have, let's say, 4 or 6 plants. So I increased the diameter to the optimum. So if I have the imaginary multiple units in a grow room, I wanted to maximize the number of grow space usable. So I ended up with the diameter of a barrel shaped. And this was also the opportunity to coin a new term here. So this is the vertical barrel. It's been built from Lego pieces. You see the pieces with the 2 standard 2-inch net cups. And there's different types of irrigation that you can put on the top and on the bottom to circulate your liquid nutrients. And there's, of course, also a substrate version of it that can be used, and an experimental CTXL version that is, it's not flammable, and if you run your car into it, there's no sharp edges, so what you need in public places. This is how it looks in production. So this is what we call CEA, Controlled Environment Agriculture. The nutrient film is on the inside. Usually it's mineral fertilizer. But you could also hook this into your aquaponics farm, where the source of your nutrients is fish. You have the nitrogen cycle and use organic fertilizer. Next solution that I invented was, I saw all these empty walls and fences, and I took a look at a lot of living plant systems for walls, and there were many things that I didn't like. And usually these walls look great when you install them fresh and the expo opens and you have flowers in them. But after a few years, the maintenance gets hard. And I was looking into all the details that you need to have good maintenance, to protect it from the sun, from heating substrate, recirculating the liquid, and also give it different types of use. So I tried to invent another wall system that is based on 3 pieces. So you see the module here, you can put it like rows and columns. And each of the modules has a liquid reservoir that you can use to cascade liquid through. So it irrigates from the top, goes through the modules, and can be caught underneath. Again, the plant is completely removable in in a removable pot that doesn't touch the outside. So if you have really strong sunlight and heat, it doesn't go into your substrate. And of course, you can grow all your young plants offsite in a normal greenhouse context on a flat table, and then have a revolving system of plants. And of course, you could also imagine urban farmers can build a business on this, help people or citizens to install the modules on their walls. You could even put it back to back without any wall, and then organize the subscription for the plants, and have the plants revolving through the season. Of course, have something different for the winter time, depending on where you are. Have edible stuff and even fruit. Next thing is that I discovered was that young plants, to make good young plants for urban farmers is hard if you don't have access to a greenhouse with a flat table. So usually people just put some pots on their windowsills and then wonder why these plants are weak and thin and stretch for the light. So I had to invent something new again. I took a look at a lot of tray review videos from professional microgreen growers, made a long list of what they need, of course, and then assembled everything that I collected also into multifunctional parts, like the 4x4 net pot holder. So you have the standard 2-inch net pots that you can put your seeds in and then germinate and grow your young plant. And from there, you can transplant them into your hydro system. Could be a vertical barrel, but could be any other hydro system with standard 2-inch net pots too. Or the 3x3 substrate young plant cell inlay that you can use to grow your normal young plants for your bag culture or your raised bed. And of course, you need for germination, you need stable conditions with regards to relative humidity and temperature. That's why the two tray sizes have a transparent PET dome that you can use to germinate and grow professional plants. And you could even simulate a flat table by using just two of those trays, and the inside one has holes. And then you just dunk and irrigate from the bottom. This is an interesting thing that I also wanted to share a different perspective. I took this from the nextgenerationleaders.org. I really like it because it's a very good summary of what you actually do when you organize co-creative urban farming. So of course it's a social event. You have a purpose. You bring people together and help them learn a lot of new things. You can do things differently. Every location is very different. Cape Town is super different compared to Heidelberg, where I come from, and so on. So you have desert conditions, you have cold conditions, dark conditions. So you really can be creative here, and the more you learn, the better the solutions will be. Of course, you can lift up others and help them shine because they have a purpose and they have something useful to do. I'm also thinking about the universal basic income and a lot of jobs and opportunity in the urban farming area. Be curious, listen to others. There's always some gardening wizards in the neighborhood from who you can learn a lot and who have access to materials that you probably need, or special fertilizer, or know a lot about composting and stuff, so people can learn. Of course, you can always reflect what you're doing and improve on that with all your fellow urban gardeners. And of course, it's a collective action. So I underline the co-creative aspects very much because I have never seen an urban farm showing another urban farm from another area. They make each other sign NDAs. I only saw this in the plant factories where you have venture capitalists and a lot of automation. So gardeners don't do this. So they share information. They help each other, they educate each other. And of course, this is an environment where you can speak freely what you're thinking. And also a really good summary on how I like to work. this is also an interesting thing to get you going. So if you wonder, okay, do I have to buy everything and make everything from scratch? No, you don't. There's lots of initiatives, but it's super different in every area. It's here in Heidelberg, it's hard. I also tried it in the neighboring cities. Super hard. People who work for the city council tell you their job is to mow the lawn and take care that the graveyard doesn't look ugly, and that's it. That's the support. There's other cities like Stuttgart who provide 13 million euro funding for urban farmers and urban farming projects, and they realized, oh, we have to bring people and different roles together so they can do these projects, and they can do projects successfully, and then they praise the urban farming heroes and write in the media, and it depends on where you are and what funding you can get. So sometimes there's also initiatives that pay half of the cost for your project. So you have to be on the look, but it's increasing. And I also saw on my search for a position in that field, I also saw that many cities have job openings with titling Green Deal or ACES, or there's different names for it, but they are staffing up in that regard. And I think there's lots of grant opportunities. You just need to look out. So that was it with my little presentation, Urban Farming Inspiration. There's one quote that I like to leave you with that I really like, and it's a profound summary if you really think about, from our friend Gary Snyder, activist from the 50s and 60s. He said, stay together, learn the flowers, and go light, which means don't have a big baggage, just do things in the simple way. And yeah, now I'm curious to hear all your urban farming questions.